Y'all know I had to go live for this one. Y'all know I had to go live for this one. Shout out to Elvis Rodriguez. Shout out to Michel Rivera for putting on for the Dominican Republic. You know, they really showed out. They showed up and showed out. They put in a great performance today, especially Elvis Rodriguez. As you guys know, I've always said that that's the Dominican I'm highest on. That's the Dominican I'm really excited. I really think he's going to go further in his career out of all the Dominicans that are upcoming now, from Michel Rivera, Hector Luis Garcia, Carlos Adames, or Alberto Puello, all those young crop of guys. I've always said Elvis Rodriguez, I think, is the most talented. And to be honest, look, this past performance proved it to me. Proved to me. He was so sharp with his punches. He came aggressively. Excuse me. He came patiently. That's what I meant to say, and he was picking his shots and doing very well. He fought a very good fight. The only thing, he does have things to work on, of course. He's still a young fighter. I'll even put him at still prospect level. He's still not even a contender in my eyes. But I like the way he fought. I do think he needs to work on setting up traps. I don't feel like he sets up enough traps or counter punches enough, And by setting up trap is, maybe keeping your hands down so, when the guy throws a certain punch that he's going to throw it, you're prepared for it. Maybe you slip to the side and you drop him, or you go to the body. So I just want to see him set up more traps. I want to see him be a little bit more strategic and more clever in his fighting game. And as well as I do want to see him throw a little bit more combinations. Elvis Rodriguez was a top-notch prospect when he was with Top Rank. They were promoting him heavy because they knew they had the goods. They knew he was talented. He took one loss over, Kenneth Sims, who's a good fighter, and they had a bad relationship with his manager, and took that loss to the heart and then released him. But I think they're regretting that now. After he's gotten released by Top Rank, look what he's done. Knocked out an undefeated Olympian, and now in this fight, totally dominated. Yo, he landed 63% of his power punches. Yo, that's unheard of. 63%. Yo, this kid is accurate. He is a surgeon when it comes to his punches. Shout out to Elvis Rodriguez. Elvis Rodriguez right now is the number one pound for pound Dominican boxer for me. In terms of where do I see his future? Maybe not number one pound for pound, because he hasn't beaten the type of level of competition just yet. But in terms of eye test, who has the most upside? There is absolutely no doubt that it's Elvis Rodriguez. Elvis Rodriguez is a beast. I'm a fan. I'm a big fan. I'm trying to get an interview with him. We'll see if me and his team could work something out, especially after this big win. Again, I really, really like Elvis Rodriguez's performance. I thought he had the performance of the night. He stole the show. He was the only one with a knockout. It was a triple header, and he was the only one with a knockout. So shout out to Elvis Rodriguez. As far as for the Michel Rivera fight, I see Box Talk 101. He's in the chat. He's one of Adorno's friends. Sorry, one of my Dominican brethren had to beat up one of your friends, but it happens, brother. It happens. But yeah, he came out fighting good. I don't know what Joseph Adorno's game plan was. He kept the fight on the outside the whole time, playing into Michel Rivera's height game. The man was throwing jabs and keeping him on the outside easy, and he made it easy for him because he was just running around. He was running around. So, okay, you want to run around, keep the fight on the outside, but Adorno, you're the shorter fighter, and you're working to your disadvantage. So Michel Rivera was comfortable with just following his lead and keeping him on the outside with that jab. So a lot of people saying that maybe they weren't that excited about Michel's performance, or maybe they expected a little bit more from Michel. I'm not going to say you're being too hard on him. I'm really not. But I will say is you got to look how Adorno fought. Adorno running around that ring, throwing jabs. And yes, he would jump in every now and then and land a few hard punches. But again, when you're running around the whole time and the guy's following you, peppering you with jabs, eventually you're going to land something. But to me, Michel Rivera won that fight easy. Maybe he lost 2 rounds, and he got the decision, deservedly so. As far as the main event was Tszyu versus Terrell Gausha. Tszyu, man, I came away, he gave me Triple G vibes in the sense that very robotic, very limited in head movement, but can obviously punch, man. There was a lot of body shots that maybe people weren't catching that would just stop Gausha in his tracks and prevent him from opening up. A lot of people were like, "Oh, why is Gausha not opening up?" You know, he seems to be landing at a frequent rate. But yeah, maybe he's not opening up because he's getting touched up hard. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure exactly how hard Tim Tszyu hits, but seeing the reaction from Terrell Gausha lets me know that he's a good puncher. He did get Tim Tszyu did get dropped in the first round, but I did mention to a lot of people, hey man, Terrell Gausha's a puncher. You know what I'm saying? He got a knockout in the Olympics back when it was with headgear and big gloves. He also hurt Lubin, and he's knocked out a few pros and you know, and he's done well for his career. Very experienced fighter, but he got dropped. Excuse me, Tim Tszyu got dropped by a hard puncher, and that just seemed like he adjusted after that in terms of you know, not getting caught with such a big right hand to the point where he gets dropped, but he was getting hit with right hands all night. Just not, he didn't get hit with anything where you're like, whoa, he got hurt, whoa, he got dropped, with the exception of obviously the one knockdown. I think he eventually got a little bit more aggressive, but his defense, he really needs to work on that head movement. Also, there was no height changes, and by height changes is, I mean, you know, he wasn't going up and down with his, you know, in the body work, moving his head, sliding, and none of that. He wasn't doing none of that. He was just comfortable coming forward like a fucking robot and just and then dig into that body. But his head was straight in the line. It reminds me of when Floyd Mayweather, when they asked him about Triple G, and he was like, man, that dude is just straight up and down. And a lot of people just thought he was just trying to shit on the guy that he would never fight. But I disagree. I think Floyd Mayweather just saw a guy who just stays in the middle, doesn't really move his head a lot. And he's saying like, shit, if you're not going to move your head, I'm going to just pick you apart. And that's kind of what I saw in Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu seemed kind of stiff, kind of robotic, not kind of, very robotic, and really didn't move his head. He didn't have no fluidity to him. He had no, you know, no, you know, he had none of that. It was just very, you know, and just always in the middle, always in the middle. And when you always in the middle, you in the way for a jab. You in the way for those hooks when they come around. You know what I'm saying? He was not dipping and dodging, doing no type of Mike Tyson shit. No, I really, again, he got away with it with Terrell Gausha, who's a good puncher, but in terms of his status, isn't that big. Like, yo, if that was Jermell Charlo in there, shit, that your man would have been slept. He would have been NyQuil's throwing Z's out here if that was Jermell Charlo in there. You know, even Castaño, if that was Castaño in there, Castaño would have put that pressure on, move him back. And you not moving your head, Castaño throwing them overhand rights, pushing you on the ring or against the ropes and doing all that shit. I don't see him. I don't see him making any noise at that 154-pound division. I don't. I'm sorry. I really don't. It says, funny story about Elvis Rodriguez. I was live streaming the card on IG immediately after Elvis won his fight. He hopped on my live to watch Rivera Adorno. Oh, shout out to Elvis Rodriguez. I know he follow you. He need to follow me. What's up? I'm the voice of Dominican boxing, and he don't follow me. He follow you. The fuck kind of bullshit is that? Adorno trash and gave Rivera the hardest shot as Ali Jr. You should know how to cut the ring. I never saw Adorno in danger. At least he was in there with a guy with half his experience. Exposure is if else. Well, I disagree with you that you know, what's his name? Michel, I was about to call him Muhammad Ali. Michel Rivera did a poor job cutting off the ring. He was just given what Adorno was wanted. You want to give me space? I'm the taller fighter. Okay, give me that space. So he was just jabbing the shit out of him. I don't know how many jabs he landed, but it was a lot of hard jabs. And which is why Adorno was very hesitant to keep jumping in like how he was towards the later rounds. But he was very hesitant to do that at an often clip because sometimes he would just run into a hard-ass jab. So I disagree with you as far as him cutting off the ring. He did exactly what I would have coached him to do is, hey, if the motherfucker want to stay on the outside, you're the taller fighter. He's giving you the advantage. Just keep jabbing his ass all night, and then that's it. So I disagree with you wholeheartedly. I thought Michel Rivera fought the fight he should have. Was it impressive? I'm not going to argue if you say it wasn't, but I will argue that it wasn't his fault that he wasn't entertaining or wasn't exciting or nothing like that. The motherfucker running around the ring and he's hitting boom, boom with jabs. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Now, does he have stuff he needs to work on before he fights a Tank, before he fights a Loma, before he fights a Ryan? Yeah, I actually would agree with. Not that you said that, but that's what I think about that. Tszyu fights too square, big target in front of you. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think he's too big. I think he's too square. And then, boom. When you fighting at a certain caliber, you're going to get hurt. Karma, what's up, sweetheart? Karma, this is my homegirl from Twitter. Shout out to you. Shout out to you for showing love. Hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. And that goes for everybody. Hit that like and subscribe button, man. It's 1 a.m. here in New York, and I'm over here giving y'all post-fight breakdown. You know, everybody follows me, bro. We had the Maloney's on the live, Teofimo, Elvis, Vences. A lot of guys were on there. Damn, I need to start hanging out with you, bro. I need to start hanging out with you then. But getting back to the fights, yo, Elvis Rodriguez, man. Is he still considered a prospect? I don't know, because if he is, he's in the running for prospect of the year, man. That was a fantastic performance. Going to the body, that right hook was fantastic. And then ended the fight in the 7th round by dropping him twice and made him quit. Woo-wee! Woo-wee! That was a good one. Did you watch the Burchell versus Nakatilia fight? No, I didn't watch the fight. You know why? Because ESPN, I'm not going to say ESPN, Top Rank don't support Dominican fighters, bro. They had Elvis, they cut him after 1 loss. They had Carlos Adames, they cut him after 1 loss. Now, I'm not saying I'm not going to watch ESPN fights. I am. But I'm definitely not going to be fucking watching it over a fight with 2 Dominicans. I ain't watching ESPN fights. So if you guys want to talk about that, I'm sorry. I did not watch. I didn't watch not 1 round of the Nakatilia Miguel Burchell fight. I did watch the Josh Warrington Kiko Martinez fight earlier this week, if you guys want to talk about that. What do you think now that we're 2 weeks away from Ryan's comeback? You think he's sleeping on Emmanuel? No, I think he's going to put Emmanuel to sleep. That's what I think about that fight. You feel bad for Burchell? Yeah, I heard he got stopped, but I ain't see it. I'll watch it tomorrow probably. Elvis Rodriguez got an underused uppercut. I love for him to use it a lot more. I agree. That uppercut is pretty vicious. And the thing is with Elvis, it's almost like if he catches you clean, it's almost like, okay, he hurt you. He landed some really good body shots where, you know, you can kind of see the motherfucker bending when he was getting hit there. And then when he would hit that, put it like this. His right hook is elite, man. His right hook is really, really good. Shout out to Elvis Rodriguez. I felt like he landed a lot of good right hooks. And again, on the inside, he would take that boom, quick uppercut. I like how quick it is. I do think that he doesn't always put everything into the uppercut, but he's such a big puncher, heavy-handed puncher. He might just need to place it there, which is what he was doing. He was just placing it there, and it just seemed like he was getting a good reaction out of him. I just feel like if he sat down a little bit more and fucking hit the motherfucker, what's that move Ryu used to do? Oh, you get hit him with one of those uppercuts, he could be getting motherfuckers out of there, man. For real. Miguel Burchell and a lot of these other fighters are overhyped marketing. That guy he fought tonight, no bum, very tough to beat. He's not from UK or Mexico, so he will be passed up and overlooked. Again, I ain't see the fight, but from what I understand, he got stopped. Warrington landed more headbutts than punches. Yo, that was not for nothing. The zone, I be shitting on the zone's lineup. Yo, not for nothing. They gave us the Chocolatico fight with Martinez, which was a mismatch, but you know, it's Chocolatico. So shout out to them for giving us that fight. They gave us the Mick Conlon fight with Lee Wood. They gave us this fight with Josh Warrington and Kiko Martinez. They've given us some quality fights, man. And I think I'm going to slow up on the zone slander only because they've been giving us a little bit of good content. But yeah. Shout out to the zone. Shout out to the zone. The Dominican haters are mad. Let them be fucking mad. Let them be mad. They just mad that Elvis Rodriguez not from their country. That's what it is. That's what it is. Elvis Rodriguez came out there. Yo, y'all not going to tell me that y'all didn't see something like where you think this kid may be a next fucking unified champion. Y'all not going to tell me that that's not what y'all saw today. For real. Does he have things to work on? Absolutely. Again, I've only seen two things he really needs to work on. He needs to punch a combination a little bit more. I feel like sometimes he's happy with just two punch combinations or landing one good hard right hook. I do think he needs to work on those combination punches. And I do think he needs to work on counter punching / setting traps. You know, I feel like he's very comfortable in that high guard, very comfortable in that hard guard, and not exactly like really, you know, slipping a punch and then off that slip landing his own. Or you get what I'm saying? Or doing a pull counter on. Nothing like that. He doesn't really set traps. He doesn't really counter punch. And you could get away with that at this level. But when you get to the next level, that's the difference between a championship fighter and a fighter that's just going to fucking, you know, lay down. But yeah, whatever Dominican haters are out, don't come on my channel. I'm going to fucking scream your head off, man. My man got a knockout. My other man got a dominant decision. So I could talk my shit today. There's normally Dominicans, when we take a L, you know, we just got to stay quiet. When we take our wins, fuck that. I ain't staying quiet. And El Domi, you watching this shit right now, when you go to your job, if there's a Puerto Rican there that was teasing you how Dominican fighters ain't shit, or a Mexican dude that's your man's, and he's talking to you how Dominican fighters ain't shit, tomorrow, when you go to work, you could go with your chest high. Go with your fucking chest high, man. Word up. Shout out. This ain't the old Dominicans no more, man. We ain't coming to lay down. We Elvis Rodriguez is in this bitch. This is really random, but still boxing related. I watched back the Charlo Harrison press conference just to see Harrison troll the shit out of Charlo. Harrison is one of the best trash talkers in boxing. I want to say Harrison and Chris Colbert are the most entertaining trash talkers in all of boxing. Josh Warrington is fighting Gary Russell leftovers. He got rid of Martinez in 5 rounds. Gary Russell, I might add, he had a chance to fight Gary Russell, refused. Don't get caught up in the hype. I ain't get caught up in no hype or no Josh Warrington. He beat an older fighter who was on his, you know, just coming off his biggest win. But how old is Kiko Martinez? Kiko Martinez has to be like 35 or some shit like that. Hold on. How old is Kiko Martinez? Yeah, like he was born in 86. My bad. My math is trash. So he's 36 years old. He's 36 years old. I mean, yeah, he stopped a 36-year-old. Let's see him do that shit to fucking Navarrete. How about that? Or give him a rematch with Lara. Let's see how that goes. Let's see how that goes. But nah, they ain't gonna do that. Go to Lee Wood route. Go look that way. Don't look at Lara. Don't look at Navarrete. You gonna get your ass whooped fucking with those Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? Go fuck with your own countrymen. Fuck with Lee Wood. Fight him. That's a unification fight too. And honestly, when I say go fight with your countrymen, I'm being funny. That's actually a good fight. And it's a evenly matched fight. But it was reported Josh Warrington suffered a broken jaw. So who knows how long he's gonna be out the ring. But yeah, he suffered a broken jaw, even though he fought even though he won the fight. He's talking about Tony Harrison, Carlos Montes. Shout out to Carlos Montes, by the way. He's funny as fuck, especially when he mentioned how he used to get beat up by his older brother when they were younger. He even called him a mental tomb. Too bad he lost. I mean, he won the first fight. I don't know if that counts for anything. I'm going to pin the link to the top of the chat for you guys. So anybody want to call in, have a conversation with me, y'all more than welcome to. Y'all know for sure I definitely want to talk about my Dominican. So El Domi, if you want to click that link and just get it off your chest how happy you are that your two of your Dominicans won, shit. You more than welcome to. We could get hyped together. I need another Dominican to scream with. Shout out to Elvis Rodriguez for giving me a great night of boxing, man. Because again, Michel Rivera, he got the win. Shout out to him. He's giving me an interview, so definitely shout out to him. But if we're being honest, he didn't impress as much as Elvis. So I'm definitely gonna keep my conversation more as to talking about Elvis Rodriguez. I'm a big fan of him. I've always been a big fan. I even mentioned that the last time I went live. I had asked the chat what Dominican y'all most high on, Michel Rivera, Elvis Rodriguez, and some people pick Michel, some people pick Elvis. I picked Elvis. I knew he got the goods. And the best part about it is that 140 division is smoking hot. Smoking hot. Listen to the guys on the PBC side. And I know I sound like a broken record, but fuck it, man. That 140 division shit, that's the type of shit that keeps you up at night just thinking about the fucking matchups. I'm gonna make a tournament style. I'm gonna suggest a tournament. I'm gonna make a video suggesting a tournament for that 140 division. But look, on the PBC side, this is who they got at 140: Elvis Rodriguez, Brandon Lee, Richardson Hitchens, Gary Antoine Russell, what's this guy? Subriel Matias, Alberto Puello. That's 6 people. That's 6 people off the top of my fucking head. You can make a Super 6 series just with those 6 right there. And if I'm not mistaken, Elvis Rodriguez is the only one with a loss amongst those fighters. Come on, man. 140 is smoking hot. It is a hot division. And I'm here to make an announcement that is the hottest division in boxing. That's it. It's the hottest division in fucking boxing. 140 pounds. Because even, I just mentioned 6 guys. But then, if you just want to look at the landscape as fuck PBC, the zone, whatever, just mention all of them. I missed out Montana Love, Jack Catterall, Josh Taylor if he stays at 140. Teofimo just announced that he's moving to 140. Jose Cepeda, Regis Prograis, Jose Ramirez. This is all 140. 140 is hot. So the fact that Elvis Rodriguez is within that mix, he has the opportunity to become the first Dominican boxer that crosses over. Not only does he get knockouts, he has Freddie Roach training him. He's signed with PBC, so he has backing. He's a southpaw, sharp shooter in terms of his punches, has good defense. I'm high on this kid. Mate. And you guys let me know if I'm bugging out as far as that. Am I overrating it? Because I don't think so. I've always been high on. I've been high on him since the ESPN days. Back when Top Rank supported Dominican fighters. Yeah, I gotta be on their ass. I gotta be on their ass about that. Nah, for real, man. Yo, nobody want to call in? Hit that link at the top of the chat, man. Holla at me, man. Holla at me today. What y'all want to talk about? Tim Tszyu? Y'all want to talk about Michel Rivera? I wish I would have. I guess I'm regretting now not watching the Miguel Berchelt fight because apparently he got his ass knocked out, and y'all want to talk about that. But y'all can't blame me, man. They had that shit the same day of Dominican fighting, man. 2 Dominicans fight. I wasn't missing that shit. I wasn't missing 1 second of it. Shit, I was holding my bat. I had a pee in the 3rd round at one point. I waited to the 10th. I didn't want to miss 1 second. Not even the fucking in between rounds I went to the bathroom. That's how much I hyped up I was. Nah, man, you definitely not overreacting. Anytime someone on the come up, you got to hype them up. Absolutely. Absolutely. And especially when I believe what I'm saying. Like, you get what I'm saying? I'm not on here going crazy telling you how Carlos Adames is the greatest fighter of all time. Yeah, I'm not on here telling you Michel Rivera is going to take over 135. I haven't. See, I'm not biased. I'm just telling you, this one kid, Elvis Rodriguez, I'm high on, and I actually think this kid is going to be something special in that division. Trust me. And the best part about it is he has the counterparts. He's going to have his Frazier to his Ali or whatever the fuck you want to call it. He's going to find a rival. And to be honest, Subriel Matias, a Puerto Rican, versus Elvis Rodriguez, a Dominican, if they could build that fight up and bring that shit to the Garden on either the eve of the Puerto Rican Day Parade or the eve of the Dominican Day Parade, shit, you have no idea how big that fight is. You have no idea how big that fight is if they do right by promoting those two. Absolutely, the 140 division is extremely packed. Don't forget about these promoters trying to protect their investments. So the odds of them all fighting each other is very rare. I agree. Some promoters do try to protect their fighters and don't try to put them in some tough matches. But in this case, most of the young guys are with PBC. So they're not going to be trying to protect protect who? Against themselves? Get what I'm saying? And then it's kind of like a good division. The younger guys are pretty much on PBC. I already went through the list. Brandon Lee, Elvis Rodriguez, Roberto Puello, all those young guys, they're pretty much on PBC. The older guys, Josh Taylor, and when I say older, I mean like mid-20s and up. The older guys like Jack Catterall, Josh Taylor, Teofimo Lopez, Jose Ramirez, Jose Zepeda, those are all on the top rank side. So while these older guys are sorting out whatever they got to sort out, why don't these young guys sort out what they got to sort out here in PBC? That's what I think. I don't know. Shit. My boy, my teammate is at 140. Put your money on your boy Elvis, and I put money on my $500 bet. Man, your boy Darwin Price don't even got a TV date, man. My man Elvis is on primetime, Showtime. What are you talking about, man? Darwin Price. I like Elvis, but Matias is very, very risky. He comes forward and is relentless with power punches. But the difference between Subriel Matias and Elvis Rodriguez is a lot more careful and a lot more sharp. Subriel Matias, sometimes he just comes to brawl. He comes to like really impose himself. And as you saw today, that right hook of Elvis Rodriguez is lovely. And like Jay said, my Dominican brother, if he starts using that uppercut and you just rushing in like that, you might get your chin checked. You know what I'm saying? Like in Subriel Matias, when he fought Petros Avanesian or whatever it is, I can't pronounce his last name, but Petros, it was his first name. He went to war. He got hit with a few shots. And yeah, he walked through it. And yeah, he got the stoppage. And I'm talking about the second fight. But you're not just going to walk through Elvis Rodriguez punches. He's not that kind of puncher. Like, I believe he's 13-1 with 12 knockouts or something crazy like that. Like, the man's power is legit. And if you even look at some of those punches was on the gloves and he just kept landing until the dude dropped. I like what I saw, man. I don't know, man. I think he beats Matias. I think he stops Matias. Put it like that. I think he stops him. And that's a fight. That's a fight I'm willing to take a bet on. I like what I saw from Rivera. If he wasn't impressive to some, it's because his dance partner, but you don't deny his jab, his pin is pinpoint accurate. Just needs to work on that defense and footwork. Yeah. Again, I'm not even gonna criticize his defense or his footwork. To be honest, I don't even think that performance doesn't call for it. I guess my only criticism would be if a motherfucker's moving around so much on you like that, pound that body so he stops moving as much. Get him tired out, especially Adorno, who has a history of fading in fights. So that would be my only criticism with him. But again, if you're dominating with the jab, I almost like, again, that's me nitpicking that criticism. I felt like he was landing enough hard jabs to win these rounds, and he was comfortable winning rounds with the jab. And I'm not going to knock him. How he was fighting was a good way of him not getting into a brawl, not fighting in a fight where it would have been to his detriment. He just was like, okay, this guy wants to stay on the outside. I'll keep the fight on the outside and keep jabbing. You get what I'm saying? Like that's what I think. That's what I think. I don't know. I think people being a little too hard on Michel, man. Michel's nice, man. Michel is doing his thing. Hold on one second. All right. Oh, my bad. Somebody was about to call in, but this is left. I don't know. Come back, bro. What? I don't bite, man. Call in, man. Call in. Don't come over here, get me hyped, have me pause my train of thought for you to fucking leave. Call back, whoever that was. I ain't even get to see to read the name. Call fucking back. That dude ain't definitely not calling back me talking like that. Yo, but I'm hyped, man. Yo, bro, you imagine I would have had to go live after if they both would have lost? Yeah, I would have been here depressed, man. I would have been here stressed out of my fucking mind. But my guys won. Shout out to Michelle. Shout out to Elvis. And I'm happy for them, man. I'm really, really am. Hopefully, I could get Elvis on, man. I got to talk to people in his team, man. You know, they were busy with this fight coming up, and things couldn't happen on their end. But let's hope now that after this fight we could work something out and they could come on the show, man. I could get an interview about him. I understand they all on the same side of the street, the same label, but it's no different than the pimp. He knows who his cash cow is. He's not just going to give that up easy. I have no idea what you meant by that, but shout out to you, brother. Hey, man, as Teofimo fans, it definitely sucks that he's going to have more time off because of that hand injury. Yeah, man, it sucks. I don't know when he is scheduled to come back after that hand injury. Supposedly he can't punch for 6 weeks, so that's a month and a half without punching, without exercising. But hey, what he would, that's life, man. It is boxing. Supposedly, he also had elbow surgery in February. So, the guy left kind of like roughed up. A lot of injuries. I wonder how he got injured, because the Cambozo's fight was in November. So if you got elbow surgery in February, how the fuck you got injured in February? Or did you get injured during the fight and then got it discovered in February? I don't know. And the same thing with the hand. Did you hurt it in sparring? Did you hurt it on the bag? Did you punch a wall because you were angry? Well, how serious is the break? I don't know as far as how bad his hand injury is. But, yo, damn, I'm tight, man. How the fuck I'm from Brooklyn? I got no connection to T.O. I have nobody I could hit up. We don't even have mutual friends. And that's weird for somebody from Brooklyn, for me to not have mutual friends in the boxing space, for us to not have mutual friends. Yeah, so I wish I had more access as to get some inside information from you guys, but I have no access in that camp. I don't know nobody in that camp. I don't know T.O. Senior. I don't even know Joey Gamache, who is not training with him, but used to train with him. I don't know nobody from that camp, unfortunately. But, oh, man. Yes, Randy, shout out to you for bringing this fight up. Lemos is ranked number 6 in the lightweight division on Box right now after that win against Selby. We got another contender in the division. This kid, matter of fact, I got to give this kid his credit. I got to show y'all his box rep, because this kid is a new player in the lightweight division. Y'all just not aware about him. But y'all on here with Broadway Joel. Y'all think I'ma just fucking just let y'all not. I'm typing and talking at the same time. So let me say, y'all with Broadway Joel. Y'all think I'm not gonna put y'all on? So when y'all go to y'all barbecue and with y'all friends and y'all putting people on, who put you on to that fight? You were the one who put me on first. You go, you're not subscribed to Broadway Joel? That's it. And then be like, yo, if you're not subscribed to Broadway Joel, you're not gonna know who's the next big thing. You're not gonna know who's the next big thing. Well, I don't know if the next big thing, but another player in the lightweight division. This man is from Argentina. His name is Gustavo Daniel Lemos. Hold on 1 second. What the fuck is going on with all these pop-ups, man? I got to get a pop-up blocker. Anyways, let me share y'all who this guy is. Right here. Hold on 1 second. Gustavo Daniel Lemos. So he fought today. A lot of people didn't see this fight, but I'm such a hardcore. I'm aware of everything. I'm aware of every fight. He fought Lee Selby today and stopped him in the 5th round. This kid is strong. Not only is he coming off how many knockouts in a row? I believe it was 10. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 9 knockouts in a row. He's 28-0 with 18 knockouts. By the way, this guy, he's from Argentina, and Lee Selby had to go to Argentina. I don't know if this was an IBF eliminator, but Lee Selby's ranked number 4 in the IBF, and this guy Lemos is ranked number 3 in the IBF, and number 1 and number 2 are vacant. So I don't know if that was an eliminator to see who's going to be the mandatory for Kambosos in the lightweight division. But what I will tell you is that guy, Gustavo Daniel Lemos, is a player in the lightweight division. He reminds me a lot of a young Lucas Matisse. Strong, goes to the body well, relentless, gets hit a little bit, but he gets hit in the kind of way that you like it, that kind of grudgy, like gangster type shit, like let's go. And he fucked up Lee Selby. Fucked that man up. Stopped him in the 5th. I believe he dropped him 3 times. Yo, that guy, Gustavo Lemos, I'm putting y'all on now. So when y'all go to your barbecue and y'all talking boxing and y'all go, yo, watch out for Gustavo Lemos, y'all can sound like y'all know what the fuck y'all talking about. Because when they see him, they're going to be like, wait a minute. Wasn't it Carlos Montes who told me? Wasn't it Karma who told me? Wasn't it Randy who told me? Just say shout out to Broadway Joel, because I got you. I'm the one who put y'all niggas on. Shout out to this dude, Gustavo Lemos. I want to see him fight more. I want to see who he's with. I don't know. I don't even know who's his promoter. Who's his promoter? It has to be an Argentinian promoter because he just fought. He was an undefeated fighter. An undefeated fighter who fought fought Lee Selby in Argentina. His promoter is Osvaldo Rivero, who's an Argentinian promoter. I don't know who's that, but hopefully he works with PBC. Hopefully he works with Top Rank. Hopefully he works with the Zone. That guy's a good fighter, man. I wish his fight today was televised here in America. He really put in a really good performance today. Argentina got some good boxers. Castaño, Fernando Martinez, IBF champ, and now Lemos. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then if you want to go further, the previous generation, they had Maidana, they had Matisse, they had Sergio Martinez. Yeah, man. Argentina is definitely always have put a good representative for themselves in the boxing game. And yo, you could argue, if you want to go historical, yeah, I know I'm a bit of a boxing historical. If you want to go from a historic sense, yo, you can make an argument that Carlos Monzon is the greatest Latino fighter of all time. You can make that argument. Obviously, you can argue Roberto Duran as well. You can argue Julio Cesar Chavez as well. And, there's a few other fighters, but Carlos Monzon is definitely amongst that conversation. And by the way, yeah, you brought up Fernando Martinez, Michael Blunt. Shout out to you. That dude is nice too. That dude can fight. I love the fact that he comes in aggressive, and when he fought Ancajas, he was getting touched up. And just kept coming and coming and coming, and then just got the stoppage. Got the decision. Excuse me. He got the win. He got the win, man. Shout out to Fernando Martinez. I'm a big fan of him, and he recently put out a video of him eating chocolate. Like, hey, listen, I want chocolatico nest. I don't know if he's that good, but shout out to him for trying to challenge himself. He wants to fight the best. Why not make an immediate, Instagram video right after chocolatico and just let him know, hey, I want you next. But again, guys, check out Gustavo Lemos. Check that man out. I'm giving you some gems. I put y'all on about Henry LeBron too from Puerto Rico. He's gonna be a good one. 130 pounder. Who else? I'm putting? I gotta give y'all these gems before they come out. I put y'all on about Herbert Conceição. I put y'all on. Even gave y'all an interview. Gave y'all content, interviewing with a translator and all that. Come on, man. But today was a good night of boxing, man. Good night of boxing. From what I understand, the Nakatilia fight was also entertaining, him and Burchelt. And I was entertained by the Elvis Rodriguez fight. The Michel Rivera fight wasn't boring, but it wasn't exciting either. And then the fight against Tszyu, and Terrell Gausha, that was a good fight. That was a good entertaining fight. Definitely got to check that guy out, and then maybe one day he can be champ. Absolutely. He's a player in the lightweight division. Put it like that. He is a player. Yo, whoever keeps calling in and hanging up, bro, just call in, bro. I don't bite. Stop fucking falling off the shit. I'll click to you. Anyways, damn, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, but he's a player. Lemos, he's a player in the lightweight division. He fought today. That's why I'm bringing him up. I'm bringing up somebody relevant. He fought and knocked out Lee Selby in the 5th round. So I'm bringing up somebody very, very relevant. How old is he? I want to see how old he is. I want to be promoting somebody old. Oh, he's 26 years old. This kid is a true player in this division. I want to see him fight. I would love to see him fight Isaac Cruz. That would be a fucking war. I would love to see him fight even Michel Rivera. I mean, not really, because this guy's tough. So maybe not Michel. I don't think Michel Rivera is ready for a guy like that, to be honest with you. Yeah, man. He's an aggressive puncher who's willing to trade. You know what I'm saying? But if you guys want to call in, click that link at the top of the chat, man. Holla at me. I'm trying to talk some Dominican boxing. If y'all want, I heard what Henry Martinez, he fought on that card too, right? Anybody know if he won or lost? Henry Martinez, he's Dominican too. I don't. Oh wait, hold on 1 second. Nah, I guess he didn't fight today. Henry Cedeño, I think his name is actually. Nah, I guess he didn't fight. But nah, it was a good night of boxing today, man. What Isaac Cruz really gonna put an ass whooping on Gamboa though. And unfortunately, that is what's gonna happen. I don't like the fight, to be honest with you. I do like Isaac Cruz as a fighter, but I guess they're trying to build him up. You got to remember, Isaac Cruz is only like 23 years old. Like, he's a young guy. So they put him in against Tank. They probably told him, listen, you're probably going to lose. But even if you lose, we're still going to build you up. We'll give you a Gamboa. Well, at least maybe that's not what they told the fighter, but they told the manager. Even if he loses, we'll give him a Gamboa, especially if he loses in a competitive fight. And then we'll build him up from there. And we'll build him up possibly into a rematch with Tank, or maybe a fight with Jose Valenzuela, Frank Martin. Who else they got at lightweight? They got a couple other guys at lightweight that I can't think. Michel Rivera, I guess. You know, so I think that's the mindset they had probably. Like, all right, take the loss. We'll build you up afterwards, especially on the undercard of an Errol Spence Ugas fight. That's a 3 welterweight belt unification. So he's going to get a lot of eyeballs on him coming off a fight with Tank, and where he also had a lot of eyeballs on him. I like that. I like the fact that he's on that undercard and they're trying to rebuild him up. I just wish it wasn't against Gamboa, man. Gamboa's taking enough punches, man. I've seen that dude hit the floor so many times, bro. Yeah, like I don't know. I don't know what's up. When I see him on both feet, I find it weird. He looks weird to me. He looks more normal to me on the ground laying down. How often he gets dropped. Damn, man. I wish I could have seen Gamboa versus Juan Lopez, man. That would have been a good fight, man. Unfortunately, this is not the case. This is not the case. They didn't get to fight. That's boxing for you. And that's what's going to happen a lot of places, man. It's going to happen a lot in this generation. A lot of fights that we want ain't going to happen. And we're going to look back at fights like how we do Hanma versus Gamboa. It's a fucking shame. Real fucking shame, man. Shit, you can even make an argument that we didn't get the Pacquiao Mayweather we wanted, because you're not gonna tell me that was the same Pacquiao Mayweather That was in 2010. You're not going to tell me that in 2015, after Pacquiao got knocked out, that was the same Pacquiao. And that was the same Mayweather that fucking totally outclassed Shane Mosley. Absolutely not. So it's crazy. Side note, Haney couldn't even hurt a old gatekeeper Gamboa. Yeah, man, that was a bad look. No, and then he couldn't drop or knock out Linares. No, and then Linares goes and gets knocked out by a fucking Zaire Abdullayev. Yo, that dude got no pop in his hand. Absolutely no power. Yeah, but and he lets and the bad shit is he lets that shit get to his head. A lot of people used to, like, later in his career, used to accuse Mayweather of not having power. And he never used to give a fuck. He's like, hey, I'm making the most money. I'm winning. I really don't care. But that Haney's that shit's getting to his head that he's don't got no power. The reason I know, after the fight, he gonna ask Linares, yo, how was my power? It's in your fucking head, bro. The fact that you couldn't stop him and you're asking your opponent, yo, how was my power? That lets me know you questioning. That shit is getting to your head. And then in the Jojo Diaz fight, he came out trying to get the knockout and could never drop or knock out Jojo Diaz. So he doesn't have power. And if he moves up, I don't know if he's weight draining himself and that's the reason why he doesn't have power. But if he used to move up to 140 and then maybe get more power, maybe then he can start getting knockouts. So maybe as he gets older, he develops his man strength and then he can start getting knockouts. I don't know. But as of right now, I don't know what Haney's doing. I really, really don't. I really don't. But yeah. Shout out to everybody on my live though. It's still very late here, and I got all of y'all here. Hopefully, all of y'all are subscribed already or hit the like button already. So shout out to y'all. Anybody want to call in on this lonely night as I give y'all this boxing content? Who do y'all want to see? Hold on, I need to hear from y'all. Who do y'all want to see Elvis Rodriguez fight next? And who do y'all want to see Michel Rivera fight next? Can you please either call in, tell me that, or leave it in the comment section who you want to see them fight next? I'll give y'all who I want to see them fight next after this sip of water. Or after a couple of y'all comment. How about that? Two fighters not resigning their contracts. I'm going to let you guess. Do you know who? I know Tank mentioned that he was a free agent after this fight against Rolly. And then who else? I guess Andre's his contract is also expiring. So those are the two that I know of. Tank and Andre. But I think Tank goes back to Mayweather. I don't think he leaves. He's definitely not leaving PBC. And as far as Andre, I was on Chicken Talk. That's a Twitter space on Twitter, obviously. And where he mentioned how he basically alluded to after this fight, he may go back to PBC. That is where home is. That he did not say that. I want to be very clear. He did not say that. He alluded to, you never know what happens afterwards, but wink, wink. After this fight, I'm going back to PBC because these motherfuckers at Matchroom couldn't get me the fights I wanted. You know, and that's just honest. That's just being honest. Damn, somebody wants an all Dominican fight. Michel Rivera versus Javier Fortuna. Honestly, I'd rather not see that. My two Dominicans going at it. I don't know. I feel like Fortuna could still be somewhat of a gatekeeper, could still be, you know, if one of these belts get loose, he may still get one. You know what I'm saying? So I'd rather still have him out there as a wild card. But I would rather see Michel Rivera versus Isaac Cruz or who else? Who else would I want to see him with? I mean, Isaac Cruz, I feel like that's a good fight right there. It's a Mexican, you know. People always say, you know, fight a Mexican. That's the green pin. Oh, well, there you go. Fight a Mexican. And that's a good fight. You know, an aggressive opponent versus somebody who's somewhat of a boxer, Michel Rivera. You know, let's see how those styles clash. I mean, Rivera is significantly taller than Cruz, so maybe. Excuse me, guys. So maybe that fight doesn't happen. By the way, yo, fucking Michel Rivera looked like a middleweight out there, man. That dude looked big. And supposedly the catch weight was to help Joseph Adorno. Joseph Adorno looked like a fucking tiny next to this kid, man. I don't know if it's just a height difference or if he's just somebody who rehydrates big. But man, the guy looked big. I thought Michel Rivera looked real big. Oh, Elvis Rodriguez versus Arnold Barboza. That fight won't happen because Barboza is on the ESPN side and Elvis is on the PBC side. But either way, I don't think Elvis is to that level just yet. You know who I want to see Elvis fight again? I want to see him fight Kenneth Sims Jr. Get that fucking win back, man. Don't let this motherfucker walk around talking that he beat you. Fuck that shit. Put that motherfuckers back in the ring, man. Let's go. Elvis, he took a loss. He got 2 wins. Now put him in. Put him in against Kenneth Sims Jr. That's who I want to see Elvis. Right that wrong. That's what Matias did. That's what Subriel Matias did. Subriel Matias took a loss. He came back and got his fucking W back. So Kenneth Sims, as a representative of the Dominican community, I'm calling you out on behalf of Elvis Rodriguez. What's up? What's up? Make it happen. I laughed so hard when you said I'd rather not see that. You know Javier Fortuna is no joke. I'm crying. Laughing. No, I mean Javier Fortuna could crack, bro. I don't give a fuck who he fights. Javier Fortuna could punch. No, but I'd rather not see it because they're 2 Dominicans. And I'm saying right now we need as many Dominican champions as possible. And Fortuna's hits hard enough where he can fight anybody, land a wild ass overhand left, knock somebody out, and fucking become world champion. Meanwhile, let's say Michel Rivera gets the WBA and Javier Fortuna gets the WBO or IBF. Then they can fight for unification. I'd rather that than them fight each other. I don't think that's a mismatch. I do agree Fortuna's no joke. I don't know who I would pick in that fight because Fortuna has more experience, is the harder puncher, and they're both and he's a southpaw. And Michel Rivera, he's taller, younger, fresher, but less experienced. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know who wins that fight. Elvis could fight like Malik Hawkins or Juk Mabayev. Y'all know what the fuck. Y'all know who I'm trying to say. Yeah, those are good fights. Those are good fights. Is that the same guy that beat Subriel Matias, right? That is, right? If I'm not mistaken. Let me check. You saying instead of fighting Subriel Matias, fight the dude that beat Subriel Matias once. Yeah. Oh no, that's Petros Ayan. My bad. That's the guy he fought before. Yeah, I knew he fought Subriel. Okay, I like this fight for him. I wouldn't mind seeing it. Or against Petros Ayan. Petros Ayan, the guy who beat Subriel Matias, I wouldn't mind seeing that fight either. Listen, there's options at 140. That's one thing that doesn't lack. That's one thing that I know that Elvis doesn't have to worry about. There will be fights at 140 for him. Right now, I don't know what route PBC is taking him. Are they taking him for the fast track? Because in his last fight before this one, he fought an undefeated fighter who was a former Olympian, meaning somebody who had some kind of pedigree, a good fighter. So I thought they were going to move on the fast track, and then they had him fight here against a step down in competition, guy who's been knocked out twice. You know, maybe they wanted to see a little bit more from him before they match him in tough. I'm not too sure what was how they're planning on moving him, but yeah, there's plenty of options for Elvis at 140. But if I'm him, I'm going after Kenneth Sims, the guy who beat me, Petros Ayan, the guy who beat Subriel Matias. And yes, I know Subriel Matias just beat him, but fuck it. Give him another shot on HBO. The motherfucker comes to fight. The guy doesn't quit. He's entertaining. Let him push fucking Elvis. Those two fighters are fights that I would love to see. Those two fights right there. You think Teofimo can beat Jack, the guy who Taylor lost to? I forgot his last name. Jack Catterall? Yeah, Jack Catterall. I think Teo could beat him. Teofimo has he's always said he loves fighting southpaws, and Jack Catterall is a southpaw, and he faded late in the fight. And if you saw the fight against Lomachenko and Teo fucking turned up in that 12th round. That was a long, hard fight he had. And in the 12th, he just got beat up real bad in the 11th and turned up in the 12th and beat the shit out of Lomachenko. So he's somebody who knows how to dig deep to fight to get the win, And even in that Kambosos fight that he lost, and he still got to drop Kambosos, you know what I'm saying? Later in the fight. And I think he turns up as the fight goes later. So yes, I do think Teofimo could beat Jack Catterall. Joel, I had hella Dominicans on my live earlier, and I asked them this question, and now I would like your opinion as a Dominican. Who do you guys consider your biggest rival? Mexican, Cubans, or it's definitely it's definitely Puerto Ricans. Not like not like I got beef, but like historically here in New York, there's been a lot of tension with the Puerto Ricans and the Dominicans and shit like that. There's also that rivalry from baseball that we have, DR versus PR. And also, if you look again, if you want to get deep into the history, there used to be a lot of illegal immigrants from Puerto Rico to the Dominican Republic. So there was some tension because of that. And then now, this is back in the like 60s and 50s that this used to happen, by the way. So, and then now, when the 80s and 90s came around, Dominicans were a lot of them were going illegally to Puerto Rico, and it still goes on to this day. So there's tension in the islands about that. There's tension here in New York about who claims who and who's better and all this, all that. So I think that we can play that up in terms of boxing. There hasn't been any rivalry in terms of remember that trilogy between this Puerto Rican fighter and this Dominican fighter? Because pretty much Puerto Ricans have always been better than us. But I think the tide has changed. The tide has turned. But again, if we could get a Puerto Rico versus DR fight here in New York City, and it's two legit fighters who have two good fan bases, the fight here in New York City will be a fucking movie. It will be entertaining. The crowd will be live. It'll be loud. It'll be raucous. You'll hear guiras. You'll hear tamboras, congas, all that in the crowd. It will be fucking lit. I remember how hype I was when he beat Loma. I was screaming while my mom was sleeping. Missed those days. Want to see him back. Want to see him win again. Me too, man. Me too. I want to see him come back as well. When he was on my live earlier, he said his next fight will hopefully be on the West Coast, maybe Vegas or LA. Are you talking about Teo? If you are talking about Teo, did he give you like a month that he was thinking of coming back? And also, did he give you an opponent? Like either one. By the way, you had Teo on your live? God damn, bro. Shout out to you, man. You getting dope people. Teo, former lineal lightweight champion, current, 140 contender. He's gonna fight for a belt soon. He's ranked really high in the WBO. And once he gets that fight, it'd probably be an eliminator against Liam Paro, a guy who fucking Teo would decapitate. You know what I'm saying? But Box Talk 101, holla at me in the comment section, man. Did Teo tell you a month that he's coming back? Did he say he's coming back in August, September? Did he give you an opponent? Let me know, man. Oh, fuck. Hold on. Damn, I wasn't charging my laptop? What the fuck? Oh, now I got it. All right. I guess Box Talk 101 fell off the map. But yeah, man. Shout out to everybody who showed up. Oh, all right, good. No, he didn't give me a month or an opponent. yet. But last time I talked to his dad, he said July. Let's hope, man. I'm dying to see Tszyu, man. We missing some Tszyu. We missing some crazy fucking New Yorkers talking trash. Talk about how he's gonna knock people out and take over the world and do all this shit. I miss that shit, man. He had the internet buzzing. As a big fan of Tszyu, I just want to see him win and definitely murk someone. Listen, if he fights Liam Paro or fucking Cletus Selden or all these guys at 140, man, those are easy fights for him. Like the guys I just mentioned, I mean. But again, that's a hot division. So even if he goes in easy, he's eventually going to get thrown in the deep end. If you want to get deep in history, Puerto Ricans are really Americans. But as American, I'd rather be Puerto Rican as well. They're lit. They stick with each other more than so-called Americans. Sure. On that note, shout out to everybody who showed up to the live, man. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Or shout out to Carlos Montes, Box Hawk 101, Real American Fan, Randy A-Bar, Michael Blunt, Karma, who was on. Who else was on? El Domi. Shout out to my Dominican brethren. David Gregory, a.k.a. The Plug. The General. Jay, my Dominican brother. El Dub Boxing. And Francisco Gonzalez. Shout out to all of y'all for showing up to my live. For the people who kept calling in and hanging up, I guess I would say if I mentioned one of you guys and I said shout out to you, I'm taking it back. Don't do that to me. Don't get me hyped when I get a caller. But all right, guys, until next time, peace.